Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire just released in theaters, so today I'm going to go ahead and share my spoiler-free thoughts for you guys in a spoiler-free review. And then we'll jump into spoiler-filled conversations where I'll talk about some of my favorite moments from this movie. And then I'll talk about my little theory I have about where this series is going. Let's get started. So with this movie, what you see is what you get. Whenever it's a big, giant, dumb monster movie, I'm having the time of my life. Whenever there's humans on the screen, I'm thinking, where the is Godzilla? It seems like they don't know what they want to do with the human characters. Half of them are in a drama and the other half are in a buddy cop comedy. There's even a plot line about prophecy, and now Gia is psychic. I understand these movies are in a tough spot. They need the human characters to drive the plot and explain what's going on. So they also need a reason to be in the plot themselves, but I just don't care. Show me the monsters! The good news is, whenever the monsters are on screen, I'm having a good time. The choreography of the fights are fun, and this movie is full of them. We get some 1v1s, some 1v2s, some 2-on-2s, some tables, ladders, and chairs, you name it. Now, I show up to these movies for Godzilla, but this movie is very Kong-focused, so that might be a negative for some people. But I actually enjoyed the journey we go on with Kong and search for his people. We get to see a lot more of his personality as he interacts with the new apes in the movie, specifically the baby Kong, who's surprisingly a standout in the movie for me. And the new villain, the Scar King, has a great design, and he uses his wit instead of his strength, as opposed to Kong, so he has a few tricks up his sleeve. My only problem is we don't get much of him. He probably could have benefited more in a Kong solo movie, but I did enjoy what we got from him in this film. His introduction scene is one of my favorites in the movie, and his ultimate goal is so over the top, I couldn't help but love it. In conclusion, although it's a bit of a struggle to get to, the third act is what you pay your money for, and it delivers. There's no deeper meaning, there's no complex theme, there's nothing you're going to take away from this. Just go into it, release your inner child, and enjoy these giant CGI monsters punching each other in the face. Now, I don't know where the series goes from here, and a sequel is not even guaranteed according to the director. They're going to keep making these as they go, depending on the success of the films. But if they keep releasing these every 3 years, I'll be there. Okay, it's time for some spoilers. So let's jump to the biggest spoiler in the movie, which is the Scar King's tag team partner, Shimo. She's a 4-legged white dinosaur that can shoot ice out of her mouth. That's freaking cool. And I loved her presentation. We often see things freezing before we see her. Like we see plants freezing before we see her foot step into frame. We see a giant wave get frozen before she then pops out and breaks through it. I think the Monsterverse does a great job of introducing these new characters, these new titans, and making them feel giant and epic. So the Scar King has this weapon like made out of bones. And at the end of it, he has this crystal. And he uses this crystal to enslave Shimo, and he inflicts pain through it. I don't think it's explained how it works, but who cares? It's cool. And his plan is to ultimately take over the surface world using Shimo to cause another ice age. Do these monkeys even like cold weather? I don't know, but it sounds cool. Surprisingly, Baby Kong, or as he's listed under IMDb, Suko, but they never say his name Suko, so I'm gonna call him Baby Kong. Surprisingly, he was a highlight. I actually liked seeing him and Kong bond, and he saved Kong's ass a couple times. He actually plays a pivotal role in defeating the Scar King at the end, which is pretty cool. One of my favorite elements of the movie was how every time we saw Godzilla and we would catch up with him, he was just wrecking shop. So he's absorbing radiation to get ready for this fight. So he's going to nuclear plants and getting into fights with other titans. And shout out to his first fight with that giant spider Scylla. It was a really quick fight, but I just really like seeing them fight in Rome. Something about the setting and a giant spider and watching it get exploded was pretty badass. And the coolest moment of the movie is the start of the tag team match. So Godzilla and Kong are friends now after Mothra gets them to stop fighting. Oh yeah, Mothra's back. They smash into Hollow Earth like a meteor. They erupt out of the ground and charge the Scar King and Shimo. Kong is riding Godzilla and they're all about to clash. The camera zooms into all of their faces in slow motion. Like, this is why I'm here. This is why I showed up. This is what I wanted to see, and they delivered. I have no clue how they're going to top this in the next one, because there's going to be a next one. It's doing really well in the theaters right now. The only thing I could see them doing is going even bigger and having like a 5v5 now or something. I don't know, Royal Rumble match, something. They got to top this somehow. Okay, so we did my little review. We talked spoilers. Now I want to talk theories. Now, I'm not well-versed in all the monsters that Godzilla and Kong fight, so I don't know where we go from here. I don't know who we're going to fight. But I do have a little theory about what this team, this little Kong and Godzilla movie team is doing here. I think they're setting up Kong to be the new king of the monsters. Now, I'm a Godzilla guy, so I don't want this to be true, but hear me out. In Godzilla vs. Kong, we get a definitive winner. Godzilla wins that fight, but Godzilla needs Kong's help at the end to beat Mechagodzilla. In Godzilla Cross Kong, Kong seems to beat Godzilla, but he lets up because he needs Godzilla's help. Now, Godzilla takes advantage and ends up getting the better of Kong, but it did seem like if he wanted to, Kong could have taken him out. We finished the movie with the last shot of Godzilla looking tired as he closes his eyes. That's the last shot we see of him. Meanwhile, Kong is riding his new pet horse Shimo and has an army of great apes at his command. You see, Kong is getting stronger while my boy Goji just wants to rest. He just wants to sleep. He's sleeping in his little cat bed in Rome. What if this all ends with Kong taking over as king of the monsters? Just something to think about. Thank you for sticking all the way through to the end of the video. Leave a like and a comment. That definitely helps push this video out to even more people so we can help grow the channel. Let me know your thoughts on the movie, any spoilers or theories you want to talk about. Subscribe for more movie content. Check out some of our other stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.